I'm gonna choose the title of this video to have something with the relation of mudslinging. Because if you go over to the Google definition of that word, let's Google mudslinging. It is the use of insults and accusations, especially unjust ones, with the aim of damaging the reputation of an opponent. I kind of feel a little bit of that. Like, I don't know how you feel. This is just my own personal opinion, just kind of how I see things unfolding based off of what we've read and how I feel towards these things that we have read. But I can't believe we're making another video about this. We're talking about Pierre-Luc Dubois again, because there were a few comments made by some very involved people in the Pierre-Luc Dubois story that really do boast some very impactful feelings. So if you're not up to date, I always try to make these videos to the point where if anybody who has no idea what's going on clicks on it, they know what's going on. Pierre-Luc Dubois, very good hockey player playing for the Columbus Blue Jackets, a very young guy, very talented guy, a top draft pick in 2016. He was traded away from Columbus to Winnipeg a few days ago because, hey, he just felt like he didn't have a fit there in Columbus long term. However, John Tortorella, the coach of the Columbus Blue Jackets, made a very noteworthy interview the other day on Sportsnet where he goes over what exactly happened with Pierre-Luc Dubois in the locker room, and all this is being said after the guy was traded away. So it was an interview done with Christine Simpson, and you can take a look at some of the comments over here. This is from an NHLTradeRumors.me article. He said this: "Have Pierre-Luc Dubois and I had conflict? You gosh darn right we've had conflict. If someone doesn't want to be here, that's a hard thing for me to stomach. Quite honestly, I'll tell you this. I do think the athletes that participate in the sport today, they're softer compared to when they were before. And the benching, I would do it again. A lot of people have some perceptions of me that have no clue who I am." Now, this is referring to how exactly Pierre-Luc Dubois got benched in his last game as a Columbus Blue Jacket, when the shift he had before he got benched was just really bad. He was just kind of gliding out there, not even really putting in any effort. And, of course, we did have the comments made before where Tortorella publicly said to the media, yeah, the locker room knows that Pierre-Luc Dubois wants a trade. We sat him down, we asked him, hey bud, why do you want a trade? It was eventually revealed that Pierre-Luc Dubois never really gave an answer to anybody in the Blue Jackets organization as to why he wanted a trade. But the interview he did after the fact, where he said that he just didn't see a long-term fit with Columbus, did kind of get on the nerves of some people, like Jarmo Kekalainen, for example, who was like, yeah, I wish this guy would go out there and tell the truth, because contract negotiations were not a part of it. We already made a video talking about that, so if you want to see why I don't really think they're on the same page, and that Jarmo Kekalainen might have misunderstood the situation, go ahead and check that video out. But these comments by Tortorella made on the Sportsnet interview where he said, yeah, we've had conflict, yeah, I'd bench him again, this guy wanted out, we don't like that. There's actually a little bit of a response here I wanted to go over too, because when it comes to Pierre-Luc Dubois, obviously Dubois himself has been nothing but respectful towards Tortorella. All the comments that he made after he got traded were like, yeah, you know, Tort's a great coach, etc., pushes you to be better, have nothing but respect for that guy, great stuff, right? But it's actually Pierre-Luc Dubois' agent, Pat Brisson, who has come out and kind of just thrown the book at John Tortorella again. Take a look at this. Insider trading, discussing the present and future of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is actually the same video that we linked in a previous piece talking about Darren Dreger and his comments on Sidney Crosby. But if you go over to the ending part of this TSN Insider video, you can see this quote made by Pat Brisson on John Tortorella. Let's read it out right here. From day one of training camp, John Tortorella wanted to expose Pierre-Luc Dubois. This included going on the radio the second week, which made it more difficult for Kekalainen to do his job and make the trade. That's what he's talking about. Now he continues to use his different media platforms to justify his position. And of course, he's talking about the interview that Tortorella did with Sportsnet talking about the Pierre-Luc Dubois thing. Here's what a follow-up says on Brisson. I have not heard Paul Maurice once say anything about a trade request from both Laine or Roslovic. This could have been Operation Submarine, but ah well, Torts was not able to help himself. So there's another jab right back over there for Tortorella, given out by the agent of Pierre-Luc Dubois, straight over to TSN themselves. What he's referring to at the end here Operation Submarine. Operation Submarine refers to submarine warfare, where you're underwater, you're just firing missiles at each other. It's significant because under the surface, there's normally a very big battle going on, missiles going back and forth, etc. But if you're on top, you're on the beach, you're walking around the city, you don't know what's going on down there. It's completely ambiguous to you. That's kind of what he's meaning here by Operation Submarine. We could have had a trade that was just quiet, quick, settled down, and nobody has to know a thing about it, but instead, what Pat Brisson has a problem with here is the fact that Tortorella's going out there and making all these statements and saying all these things about Dubois. Oh, I would bench him again. Oh, we wanted to know why he wanted to get traded, so we sat him down and we asked him in front of the entire team. Like, stuff like that, right? The previous video we made about Pierre-Luc Dubois also highlighted a rumor that said that Tortorella and the assistant coaching staff was straight up ignoring Dubois once the season started because they knew he wanted to trade, something like that. So it's kind of funny to hear the agent come out here himself and say, yeah, since day one of training camp, Torts was out there trying to expose Dubois. So, again, you know, this kind of drives home the point that I was talking about a few videos ago, how Pierre-Luc Dubois is just in the most admirable position here, because he's gotten what he wants, he's finally gotten traded, he's got a long-term future now, hopefully, with the Winnipeg Jets, and in the post-trade interview, he was like, yeah, Tortorella's a great coach, he's a great motivator, he does his best to make you show your best out there on the ice, and I have nothing but respect for that guy, yada yada yada. He had nothing but good things to say about Torts. So all the Tortorella stuff coming out after, where he is kind of slamming Pierre-Luc Dubois, yeah, there's a lot of uneased tension, I guess, with this. It's kind of funny, isn't it? Because I think it was after the trade, we were like, yeah, we're not going to know a lot of the details about this story for a very long time, and as more things come out, we're going to have more things to talk about and more discussion points to add on to the narrative, and this is just another one of those pieces, man. So I'll leave a link in the description to the John Tortorella interview, or at least the preview. There's a tweet made about it on the Sportsnet Twitter account. You can go ahead and check that out and see the big juicy quotes where he says, yeah, I would bench Dubois again if I had the chance, and then I'll leave a link in the description as well to the TSN insider trading video, because that is on their website, so you can go ahead and read that for yourself. I'm just really interested in seeing kind of how Pierre-Luc Dubois responds to all of this, you know? Patrick Laine is in a weird spot because we all kind of know how Patrick Laine plays defensively. He's gotten better over the past few years, but now under John Tortorella, I'm going to be very interested in seeing how that turns out. But for Pierre-Luc Dubois, he's in a position where he really just has to go out there and show the world that he is a lot better than the Pierre-Luc Dubois we saw in the last game he played for the Blue Jackets, where he was just kind of out there going for a skate. We know how good this player can be. We know how good this player has been before. He was the best Columbus Blue Jacket in the bubble. Tortorella kind of yelled at him a lot in the bubble as well, which is very interesting to take a look at with hindsight with all the stuff we know now. But yeah, I'll leave this video off with another question here. Is it fair for me in the title and all that of this video to call this mudslinging? Mudslinging, the use of insults and accusations, especially unjust ones, with the aim of damaging the reputation of an opponent. Is that fair in this context? Tortorella saying, yeah, we had conflict, yeah, I wanted to bench this guy, I'd do it again. The agent coming out here saying, yeah, John Tortorella was out here going after my guy since day one at training camp. He's trying to justify his positions by using different media platforms. Is it fair to say that this is mudslinging? Because, to me, my perception is, there's really no need to go out there and start talking about this guy anymore, right? Like, you don't need to anymore. John Tortorella voluntarily came out here and did an interview where he spoke about Pierre-Luc Dubois and said all these things about him. So, now that he dished one out, the agent's coming back over and doing another dish the other way. So, let me know in the comments what you think. Hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.